Right, so I'm back with the second journal. This one I'm calling Willow. This is a slightly different size. I don't know if you can see Molly here. I'll try not to disturb her too much. She doesn't really like being disturbed. So this one is just under 5.5 by about 8. It's meant to be slightly shabbier than my usual journals, but isn't really that shabby. Can't seem to do shabby. It's fabric cover over cardstock, reinforced spine, you can see there. Okay, this is a little machine embroidery that I've done. So it's some dyed fabric, some stenciling, and then I've used my free machine foot and gone over that. And I think there's a little bit of organza over the top there with some glitter. I can't quite remember how I did that now, but it went prettily with the cover I'd made, and it's just been sat in my box for ages. So that's that one. So this is a sort of patchwork of fabrics. These are vintage fabrics. These are more contemporary. This red one is old French fabric, and there is a little sort of rusted hole here where I think originally there must have been a metal button. There are 68 sides in this journal, and it's a similar style, I guess, to my TN size ones, but I think, or I've tried to leave a bit more writing space in this one. So let's just go to that a minute. So I've done a sort of floppy tag in here. This is some paper from chapter 1, their very newest kit, which I absolutely love, and it sort of went beautifully with this page. I've just added a bit of collaging on that. You can see the green card under here that I've used, and you can see where I've folded over the fabric. So obviously if that's not your cup of tea, this isn't the journal for you. On this side, this is an old postcard. I've done a little tiny dangle here. And in the back, I've got this. I've been watching quite a lot of Cassie from Dust to Roses and Ruby and Pearl. There's another one as well whose name escapes me. And I think there's some of there, as well as Luna Rosu, who you probably all know that I love. I've taken some inspiration from them as well. This is a chapter 1 image. This is a tax letter from 1933. And this page is from an old sewing book. So quite an eclectic mix on there. And I've used the same fabrics for tabs that I've used for the cover. This is some old French ledger. I think in the book it must have gone like that because the opposite side is upside down. This is some of the Tim Holtz tissue paper. In this pocket I've got a large journal card that's made with a vintage Ladybird book page. This is from my very old Flower Fairy book. And I've made a little envelope here from some more of that chapter 1 kit. And in there's a post office book page and a little flashcard. I think that's Latin. And these are just some contemporary reproduction tags that I've put together on there. I've used this pretty variegated chiffon ribbon. This is from a facsimile of Muriel Foster's fishing diary. It's really nice drawings in this one. This is a vintage birthday card, and this is from an old children's book. I thought the colours went nicely. So the card is just left open for that. This is from a music book. I've stuck this on. This is some vintage glassine paper. Here I've got a tiny tuck spot made with a scrap of vintage document. A little bit of, what's this? Embossed paper on there. This I think is Amity Bloom paper, and I've left it as it was on this side, and I've overprinted it on this side just to add a bit more interest. Sorry, this document is 1933. This is some old design shop images printed onto vellum. This, I think, again is, sorry, I can't remember if that's Amity Bloom or Ruby and Pearl. Okay, in this pocket, I've got two pockets here. So there's some vintage photographs, originals in there. A little fairy pocket at the front. This is from a more contemporary flower fairy book, and this is a vintage computer card. I say vintage, 1970s, so not even as vintage as me. In this fabric pocket, I've got another journal card made with a ladybird book page, a postcard from 1907, and these are the Tim Holtz people. And this little dangle, it's just got twisted. Let's sort that out. There we go. This is a little image from the chapter 1 papers. This is an old ledger from 1928, and again Amity Bloom paper that I've overprinted on one side. In here I've got a blank receipt. This is a flower fairy image. I haven't backed that, I've just left it the same so that you've got the natural patina on the back, or natural aging. And this chap's been in my collection for some time. He makes me laugh. I have no idea who this is, but he looks very proud of himself, shall we say. This is part of an old document, and in there I've just got a botanical book page and a tag that I've put together. This is the centre. I think there are 68 sides in this book, 17 folios. And on this side, I've made a tag out of one of those computer cards. This is the chapter 1 paper, which is so pretty. I just love it. And another botanical book page. Some variegated chiffon. This is an idea I've definitely taken from Cassie, Dust to Roses. So she put an envelope and left it open, which I thought was a great idea for writing on. I've popped a little photograph in there, and then in here I've made, this is a vintage telegram, and just an image from a book that I liked that I've put together. So it's a little bit tight, but just go in there. And then this is a photograph, looks like from the 1940s or 50s, that I've just pinned in there for you. And the envelope is from 1962. In here I've got another of those little cigarette card thingies, and a receipt or a letter from 1932 from solicitors. It's from the estate of a Mrs. Talbot. It's another of those little dangles. See, I've tried to leave writing space, but I've not left you loads, I'm afraid. This is from a vintage notebook. And this little girl is Willow. She's sitting on a willow stool by the look of it. She looks a bit precarious, actually. I'm slightly worried. I've done another thing there, and another page from that children's book. So this obviously is the back of the birthday card. This is from Margaret. And I've fussy cut some violets to put on the back of that. In this pocket I've got a page from a French embroidery magazine, and another of those tags inspired by Cassie. And the back pocket is much the same. Again, you can see the green card through there. I haven't glued the fabric down completely. Another tall pocket and another tag. So that's Willow. Slightly different take on the eclectic journal. And we'll be in the Etsy shop. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.